Looney Tunes is a classic cartoon that everyone and their grandma has enjoyed since the 1930s. But just because it's a show that your sweet little old grandma probably watched when she was a kid doesn't mean that there aren't a ton of dirty jokes. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and these are the dirtiest dirty jokes in Looney Tunes. Number 7. In this episode, Speedy Gonzales reveals that you really shouldn't trust him to keep it in his pants around your hot sister.
Speedy Gonzales, friend of my sister.
Speedy Gonzales, friend of everybody's sister.
Damn, Speedy, you get around. As long as you don't finish as fast in the bedroom as you do when you're running, all of your mouse sister's friends should be fine. Number 6. Everyone knows that Pepé Le Pew is kind of a sexual predator, right? Cool, we're all on the same page. Homeboy is always chasing pussy, and usually he doles out the kisses without any form of consent whatsoever. Tight! In this scene, Pepé admits that the only thing he really likes to do is some good old-fashioned smashing.
Hello, young lover, whoever you are. I am Pepé Le Pew. Everyone should have a hobby, don't you think? Mine is making love.
Dude, if you're gonna keep trying to bang random girls as they squirm away from you, it might be time to get a new hobby, like fly fishing, or baking, or something where you're not forcing your gross, stinky body on women who don't know you. Number 5. Here's a joke that only your grandma would get. In this episode, Daffy Duck goes to Hollywood to try to become a star. There's only one problem. The security guard at the studio is a total dickbag and won't let Daffy onto the lot. He has to pretend to be a studio director to get past him, and that's when he says this.
Why, this is amazing. You're just the type we've been looking for. Ah, that profile, them looks. What's there old Flynn got that you haven't got? Don't answer that.
In case you weren't a conscious adult in 1934, let's review an old scandal that shook the cartoon world 85 years ago. Errol Flynn was an actor charged with the statutory rape of 2 minors back in the 30s. He escaped the charges, of course, by painting the 2 teenage girls he assaulted as horrible sluts who had affairs and abortions and a bunch of other shit that was considered unsavory back in the day. Some regard him as a hero, and most regard him as an asshole, but the point is, maybe Daffy Duck shouldn't have made a casual rape of a minor joke on a kid's show. Number 4. In the opener for this episode, Wile E. Coyote blasts off in a rocket to chase after Roadrunner. As the rocket flies by, we see Wile's Latin name, and let's just say it's definitely not kid-friendly. Yup, you read that right. Wile E. Coyote's Latin name translates directly as hard-headed motherfucker. Get it? 'Cause Oedipus fucked his mom. Number 3. When Bugs Bunny calls into a game show to win a huge jackpot, he surprises the host by getting the answer to an extremely complicated math problem right on the very first try.
Oh, that's easy. If there's one thing us rabbits can do, it's multiply.
You ever heard the term going at it like rabbits? Yeah, bunnies bang a lot. Number 2. As a father, it's Sylvester's responsibility to teach his son how to hunt birds. Of course, Sylvester is a terrible hunter. He literally grew up with Tweety 2 feet away from him in a cage at all times, and he couldn't even kill her. So I'm not surprised that he's having a hard time in the wild. Unfortunately, he accidentally shoots the hat off an old lady while trying to hit a bird and says this weird thing to his son.
Oh, how can I face my friends? My father shooting at helpless old ladies.
Oh, look, son, she's about as helpless as a porcupine in a nudist colony. Sakes.
Was that just a charming, super common phrase back in 1961? Or is it just a weird thing to say on a kid's show? You decide! Number 1. I just realized that this entire cartoon is just a series of one attempted murder after the other, and I'm okay with that. In this episode, Elmer Fudd is trying to kill Bugs Bunny as usual when Bugs plants a big ol' wet one right on his face. That's when this happens.
Yes, I would just love a duck dinner.
Boner joke followed by a jizz in your pants joke? What is this, my birthday? These are the dirtiest jokes I could find in Looney Tunes, but I want to know which ones I missed in the comments section. Like and subscribe to NerdWire, and I'll be back next week to ruin your childhood.